Welcome to the Fleet Geeks Podcast. We're here to help develop fleet and transport professionals. Do you want to progress and develop your skills and knowledge? We promise to bring lively conversation and debate around interesting issues and keep you bang up to date with changes in our awesome industry. The Fleet Geeks are a community of professionals, and if you enjoyed the podcast, why not join the discussion for free in the Fleet Geek community over on Facebook?
And the red light's rolling, and here we are to talk about the importance of driver health today. Jamie, this was your suggestion, mate. So why don't you sort of kick off with what was your thoughts on driver health?
Well, the actual story, I'm working with an operator and he's got a driver that's 72, and he'd had a fall at home. This driver, he tripped over a mat in the bathroom. I spoke to the driver since, but the transport manager, the operator, rang me and said, "We need to get his health checked. I'm a bit worried about his health. He's 72. You know, I said, well, he's going to have his health checked every year because his license obviously is going to be renewed every year. Anyway, so we looked, his license actual renewal was not until November. So he's pretty much in the middle of that. So we're looking at going down the occupational health route just to make sure he's okay. I've spoken to the driver since, and it wasn't the fact he just had a fall. He tripped over. His wife had brought a new mat for the bathroom. He didn't realise it was in there and tripped over it. So
done it himself?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the operator, and rightly so, straight away, he's picked up, he's a 72-year-old driver, he's had a fall at home. And that was all the information he had at the time. So he worried about it. But yeah, driver health, coming away from 72-year-olds, although similar is important. You know, up until the age of 45, your health isn't really checked, is it? So it's important to look after your own health. And
Absolutely.
I think the stereotypical driver eating Yorkies, unhealthy, is sort of disappeared. However, there is those drivers out there that perhaps could be a little bit healthier. I think that's a polite way of saying it.
Yeah, I mean, we know these statistics are drummed out every time, aren't they? The average male in this country, the average driver in this country is 56-year-old white male. And what do 56-year-old white males suffer from? Poor health. So yeah, absolutely. And that's very relevant because only last week I had a driver recount to me his experience of having a heart attack at the wheel. So, and it's really interesting when we get first. Number one, because of my age and monitoring my own health, I think, well, I don't even know what a heart attack is. And the way this guy described it was brilliant. And but it does bring into focus the importance to have. A health, driver's health is really, really important because, if you have one of those episodes at the wheel, I mean, we all know the story of the Glasgow bin lorry, we bring it out every training session, how important that is. But we're probably the last group of people, in the country, like in terms of a demographic, that would probably go to a doctor or seek advice. So what should drivers do, Pete, in terms of if they don't feel too good, if they're having a bit of a, maybe not feeling so good, what would as a business owner, as a transport manager, what kind of thing would you think of?
Hi, it's Pete from Flagship Partners. We're really proud to sponsor the Fleet Geeks podcast. Flagship Partners offer a range of consultancy and training services to ensure that our customers remain compliant and have the best possible knowledge to be able to fulfill their work. If you're interested in support with any of our safety, HR or compliance services, or you want to train to be a transport manager or need driver CPC training, give us a call today.
Yeah, I think it's quite a broad subject actually, and I know we're sort of keen to get it over and done with sort of fairly sharp. So I think as a business owner, I often reflect when I come for our team meetings. We'll come and have a team meeting, right? And I will get the donuts or I'll get the biscuits in because that's the expectation. But I do often sit there and go, do you know what? I ought to buy a healthy option because I should be encouraging, as a leader of the business, I should be encouraging healthy eating options. So that's the one thing. So I think if you're listening and you're a leader and you're a transport manager, think about, have you just got shit vending machines? Is your business, is that all you offer is shit vending machines? Because one of the things we did with our training, we always offered Pizza Hut lunch for our driver CPC, and I've stopped that, and we've now got a cafe where you get to go and choose the food. So if you want to have a healthy option like eggs or salad or something like that, you can pick it. Largely speaking, everyone wants an English breakfast. and that's fine, right? But people get offered the choice, whereas before we were only offering pizza. So I felt like we had the right thing to do was to offer a range. And I think as a business owner, transport manager, leader, we should start to think about offering those options. But there's lots of things out there. You know, how expensive are medicals? That, you know, there's loads of people offering them for 40, 50 quid. Why not do them more often? Why not have an MOT check?
You don't have to wait for 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
The issue with that is drivers, they don't want to know if something's wrong, do they? Generally, a white male doesn't want to know there's something wrong with him. So it's not the cost that puts them off. It's the fear of, hang on, I could lose my livelihood if they do find something, perhaps.
I think we've got to communicate better. We've got to communicate better with our teams of people. And we've got to start advertising what well-being looks like. Sleep's a whole nother podcast. But like the importance of sleep, diet, nutrition, all of that stuff is just vital, absolutely vital for us to communicate as leaders and transport managers.
I never like giving statistics out that I've got from somewhere else, but I've got this from a slide from somebody else's presentation. So I'm always put a caveat on it, but only 1 in 10 drivers that have an intervention from the DVLA medical branch, only 1 in 10 permanently lose their license. The vast majority, 9 out of every 10, get, maybe after some treatment, maybe after some, rehabilitation or whatever, you get to keep their license. So, you're right there, Jamie. People do get frightened. And, I think possibly I would be as well. Yeah. So, and try to mask things and put things off. But, as you can imagine,
we enforce ignorance. We enforce chosen ignorance, don't we? Because ultimately, there's this rule that we have to report everything to the DVLA as drivers, and therefore, what action does that encourage? That the action that encourages is inaction, because if there's no action, then no one's guilty because they didn't know. It's literally enforced ignorance. It's a really, really vital conversation that I think we ought to be having, actually.
As always, let us know what you think.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Brilliant. I hope you really enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys will take a bit of a reflect on it. Yeah, thanks, guys. See you
on the next one.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please share with your friends and colleagues too. Join us for free on Facebook with the Fleet Geeks community for transport and fleet managers. Fleet Geeks offers ongoing professional development, networking and mentoring too. So get in touch with me, Pete Rushmer, on any social media platform to find out more.